What's up, guys? It's Talia. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, October the 16th. It's been a good while. I think it's been about a month technically since the last time you guys saw me. But here's the thing. I did try to record a video last week and it was pretty long. And I knew it was going to be a long video because I had a lot to talk about, and I knew that it was going to be long because I had already tried to record it with my phone. But my phone memory was not sufficient enough to be able to handle that much video. So I re-recorded. I tried to originally record it on a Sunday, I think. And had lost half of the video. I had recorded on my phone and I had gotten cut off after about an hour and restarted. And then when I restarted, somewhere along the lines, I lost the first half of that video. But I went ahead and uploaded the second half to YouTube as private, just in case the other half showed up. It never did. So I tried to re-record again last Wednesday, and it was a longer video, so I tried to record it on my laptop. Unfortunately, my laptop is very slow. So there was lots of places where the video would freeze, but the sound kept going, and I edited it as normal with Windows Movie Maker, and then uploaded it, but there was issues with the sound where it was getting completely off, and it never went back, and it just got worse throughout the video. So I decided to pull that video down a couple hours later, and well, I made it private. It's still technically on my channel, but it's private. And sorry. I did decide to go ahead and pull that video down, but I used a different editing software to try to re-edit the original video. It did a lot better. I'll give it that. It did a lot better, but there was still places where after I edited it and I had to render it as an MP4 or an AVI file. And after editing and rendering, there were still places in the video where there was sound playing in that part of the video when I was editing it, but for whatever reason, when it rendered, there's no sound. And it happened in a couple different places. There was one place it only happened for about 20 seconds, which I thought, okay, that's not too bad. I wasn't really showing much. It was just I know what I was saying. And then there was another part of the video where it was like 6 minutes where it did it, and I'm like, okay, no, that's too much. And so, long story short, I just decided that I'm going to just let it go, get past that video, and just kind of do a new video. I'm going to kind of do a Cliff Notes version of that video. There's obviously things that I'm not going to show this video that I showed in that video. I went through the projects that I was going to be working on for the October acrostic that I decided to take a part in. I'm not going to be doing that in that video because we're halfway through October already, and you'll just see them as I work on them. I also kind of went into my new storage that I got, and if you want to see it, let me know, but it's still kind of a work in progress right now. My storage is a whip. So, but I'm not going to show that right now. I have one of those little cube shelf things that has the drawers. I have a drawer in each of the 9 spots, and that's where I'm storing my fabric. I have a filing cabinet right now where I am organizing my patterns and my magazines. But like I said, everything is still kind of a work in progress. I'm still getting it all stored the way I want it. I'm hoping to get some more pull-out drawers eventually, so that I can put my floss in. Because I'm lazy when it comes to storage. Bobbing, I'm not doing the bobbinating, and I can't do the floss away bags. That's too much. So basically, you're gonna get a stripped down update video. So I can tell you that I had my hair redone last week, last Wednesday on my day off. We had to go with a different color. Sorry, we had to go with a different brand than I did last time, but the color wasn't exact. It ended up being a different color because the store was out of the kind that we had last time in the permanent formula, so I get a different color. It's okay. It's still, like, it's not as bright. It still just looks like a purplized brown. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to insist that we use that other color next time. A few weeks ago, me and my boyfriend took a trip to Tennessee, to Pigeon Forge, and there is an LNS in Pigeon Forge called Dixie Darlin', if nobody is aware. If anybody is not aware of the LNS there. We had a blast. We visited museums, ate at a lot of different places. We drove to Pigeon Forge on a Wednesday, stayed there overnight, and then hit Gatlinburg the next day for a few hours, walked the strip, and came back. And then came back home. And I will show you later a few of the other things that I got from Dixie Darlin'. I can't show you everything in this video that I showed in the last video. Just know that there was also some haul. It's just like a bunch of random pieces of fabric, basically. But y'all don't need to see those. Just it was a $25 mystery box of fabrics, different fabric cuts from a Facebook page called Ritterine's Cross Stitch Fabric and Supplies, and got a whole bunch of different fabrics, a whole bunch. Like, it was one of those flat rate boxes that was like, it's like that tall, and then about that way, whatever. That whole thing was stuffed full of fabrics, and so you'll eventually see them over time. Got a few pieces of fabric from Heaven and Earth, because she was having an off-cut clearance fabrics, and I'd picked up a few pieces of 16 count Adas, which was basically, it's either that or 14 count. That was all that's left by the time I got there. Picked up a few pieces of that. One of those pieces I already know what I'm going to do with, but you will see that when that time rolls around, because I did forget to bring out, I'll grab that before I talk about it, because I forgot there's one other thing I can show as far as haul. You might hear the dog bark, I apologize. So, almost 10 minutes in, let's get to some lips, shall we? I haven't worked on a lot, because I've been kind of concentrating on that acrostic, and what it is I've not signed up for, but I've decided to try my hand at one of the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch October acrostics, because she has two this month. One is Fall Harvest, I think, and then the other one is Dark October XS. So that's the one I'm trying my hand at. And so far, I've completed 2 of my goals, and you'll see those. The rest of them you'll just see as I get around to them. But I can start off with something that I had worked on after the last video, actual Flosstube. Back at the end of September. See, I had to remember what months we're in. And that is the stained glass Ariel. Sorry. The stained glass Ariel. This is from MagicStitching on Etsy. Been working on this thing for a couple years now. It might get done eventually. It's good. It's full coverage, but it's good because it's all big blocks of color, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. Needless to say, it gets a little boring for me sometimes. Hold it back a little bit. This is where it sits at right now. The last time that you saw this, before I worked on it, well, I can just say what I did last time I worked on it. I brought the two sides of the frame down, all the way down to the bottom. This little jut out right here is because this thing is exactly the same width as my 11-inch Q-snap. So, in order to be able to do that bottom piece of the frame all in one go, because I like to half stitch across and then come back, I had to kind of do that little bit so that I would be able to do that. And then I completed this part of the tail right here. There's a lot more tail, don't worry. But I did that. So, I love how, I just love how bright it is. And I think it has a lot to, this yellow fabric doesn't help. But it's very bright, it's very colorful. And it's just a very slow moving whip. So, this was a fabric that I got through Fabrics by LJ like years ago, couple years ago. So I don't think he's going to be dyeing fabric anymore, unfortunately. He made an announcement a couple weeks ago. He's still just going to sell off what he had left in his shop, and I don't know if he's still going to do unicorn tails or what he's going to do, but he's not going to do fabric anymore, unfortunately. So. And then about mid-September, I ran across a SYOA of sorts. And y'all know me, I don't take part in mystery SYOAs because I don't like not knowing what the project looks like completed. There have been times when I've thought about joining a SYOA, but it's like, I'm going to hold off, because some things this designer does I'm not crazy about, and some things that I like, so I'm going to hold off, and I've been glad that I've held off, because I haven't liked the design as a whole. But then there's a couple of things where I'm actually looking at a couple of previous mystery SYOAs now. Some old mystery SYOAs through Lizzie Kate I kind of like. And I like the designs, and so I've been thinking about trying to get those. But there was a mystery SYOA, and technically it's a stitch your own adventure, which means everybody's project could be different. The frame was released. It's through Cunning cross stitch. You can find them on Facebook, but I think the actual SYOA and all the information about that SYOA is on their blog, which is like cunningcrossstitch.blogspot.com or something like that. I'll put the link down in the description below. And they released the frame. The reason I started in on it, they released the frame on September 1st. It's a big frame. I just go ahead and warn you about that. This is not a small project. And it is called, sorry, I'm trying to go and find the cover page here. You would think I'd be a little bit more prepared about this stuff, but I'm not. It's in here somewhere. Okay. It's called the Letters from Hogwarts Stitch Your Own Adventure Mystery Salve. And this is what the frame looks like. That's pretty cool, right? Between these two swirls is where you put your wand, and that's kind of one of the first adventures. It tells you how to come up with your wand, like when you, this is you getting into Hogwarts, getting to Diagon Alley, and getting your wand. They tell you how to get your wand by rolling the dice 3 times. The first time gets you what wood it's made out of, and there are certain colors that have been appropriated for each wood type. First roll of the dice gets you your wood type. The second roll of the dice gets you the front half of your wand, and the third roll of the dice gets you your back half of the wand. A lot of people that I've seen are really just stitching up a representation of their wand that they already have through Pottermore, and which is what I'm doing basically. And it actually goes kind of over top. Sorry, I chipped a nail. It kind of goes up over the top of the swirls here. So, I have completed the castle here, and I have completed the blue swirl, and I've almost completed my wand at this point, but I have made changes. I have made a slight change to the wand, and I'm going to have to kind of rearrange the order of those swirls because my wand is yellow, and I don't want a yellow swirl underneath my yellow wand. So enough of holding this up. I will show you what I've done. This is the packet. You see how thick that is? That's all pattern and SAL information. I had to clip it all together. So this is just some floss. It is on my Q-snap because I still continue to work on it. You're not going to see a lot of it because that's the castle right there. Just know that the castle is done. And then the blue swirl, and that's my wand. The wand is only technically supposed to have 1 hump back here at the back. But I decided to put 2 humps to kind of more closely resemble my wand through Pottermore. So, my wand, if anybody's wondering, my wand is a Rowan wood wand. So, this is, I'm stitching this on a 32 count white chelt even weave in the color Stormy Night, which is one of my favorite even weaves ever. My Fracture Flowers is being done on this as well. This is just the other piece of it. So, that is how far I've gotten on that. That's a lot of stitching, actually. It's a lot of stitching. And I will continue working on that. My goal with the acrostic, my goal for October was originally to complete that entire header, but I think I'm going to get my wand done, and then I might try to work on the train. I have a lot, because we're already halfway through October, and I have a lot that hasn't been done yet that I still need to do. Let's put it this way, out of 13, because with the acrostic, I've picked 13 different projects, one for each of the letters, and I've only completed my goal on 2 of those. That's one of them. This is the other one. And these are actually two of the only three that I had a stitch goal on of what kind of section I wanted to get done. The other ones are just like stitch counts, how many stitches I want to get done on them, which isn't that hard. But these are pretty lofty, goals actually. I just had it. What did I do with it? Lose my head if it wasn't sewed on. I also worked on Death by Cross Stitch. You know it. You've seen it. This was very popular a couple years ago. I had so much trouble with this. I actually ended up trying to restart it twice after my original start because I thought I wasn't happy with my original start. But turns out I was even less happy with the starts that I made after that. And I just ended up going back to my original one. So this is where Death by Cross Stitch is. When I started working on this, no, I didn't work any on the border or anything. When I started working on this, I was about right here on this side of the unicorn head, I think. Right about here, yeah. To where it was above where it actually comes out right here. It was somewhere in here. And then I had all this over here done, and then up to the top of the tail right here. So literally everything else below his horn, all this is what I did. I'm going to do, there's two motifs inside the unicorn there. I'm going to do those in a different color. My original third color was a red, which was like $4.98, I think. I'm going to be switching that out instead, and I'm going to accent the entire piece with, what was it, 680? Yeah, 680, which is a gold yellow color, which is a deep rich gold yellow color. It's going to be accented. That it's not going to come into play very much in that piece, but those motifs inside the unicorn will be done in that third color. So I actually met my goal on that one. My goal was to complete that purple triangle. So that one is done for this particular time being. So that's all. That's all the whips that I've been working on. I have a lot more other projects that need to get worked on. It's pretty early in the day. I think it's probably about 1 p.m. at this point. And so I'm trying to do a quick video, get it uploaded, and get some stitching in for the rest of the day. Oh, I am so sorry, y'all. Just ate a late breakfast not too long ago, and I'm still kind of full. So where did I put those projects? I don't think where I put them. Let me see if I put them in my cabinet right here. I found one of them, but I don't know where the other one went. Sorry, y'all. That's not it. Well, oh, there it is. It was on the floor. I had ordered a couple of things from 1, 2, 3 stitch. Put this back over here by my bag. It doesn't get left. When I had ordered that fabric from Heaven and Earth, one of the pieces is very long. It's 33 inches one direction and 11 inches wide. So I knew I wanted that piece, and I went ahead and bought it, but I had a particular project in mind. I had a particular pattern in mind that I wanted to see if it would fit on there. And when I looked it up, it was that Jardin Privé, like ABCs of Embroidery or something like that. Katie the Stash Queen did it over one on, I think it was a 28 count fabric, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but it was like really small, but she did it. I thought that being a longer piece, I thought maybe it would fit. Unfortunately, that pattern on a 16 count is 2 inches longer. It's like 35 inches long. So I was looking some more through the Jardin Privé patterns, and I came across another one that's long as well, but it's not quite as long. And so I ordered it from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and that is the Mr. and Mrs. Quaker. Sorry, I can take it out of the package for you. Well, you can probably see it just fine right there. Mr. and Mrs. Quaker. This particular pattern, it is shorter, but it's not going to leave me much room on the top and the bottom, but it will fit perfectly on that fabric. So I'm not going to be doing it in pink and brown like they show. I'm going to be substituting my own colors. And there's the fabric. I still got it in the Heaven and Earth bag. I'm going to dye this fabric. It's not going to be white. I'm going to do something with that fabric. Do my own little dyeing. And then, you know, when you order something from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, you know, you can't order just one pattern. Like, you can't, one pattern can't travel by itself. So, I ordered something else. So, in keeping with the Jardin Privé, I also ordered the Halloween Quaker. Sorry about that. Some bunghole called me and stopped my video recording. And so, what I was saying was, when you order from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, you can't order just one thing. So, I ordered the Halloween Quaker. This is the pattern. This is something like I had in mind originally when I did the Acorns and Owls pattern. I had really wanted to do just like a black Halloween Quaker. And this is kind of what I was thinking of. But I ordered that. I also ordered a pack of Bowen 28 needles, but you don't need to see that. And then when we went to Pigeon Forge, visited the Dixie Darlin', I picked up, oh, I did forget to show one thing. Put it in here. I forgot to show a whip. So sorry. You're getting a bonus whip here. When I was at Dixie Darlin', I picked this up so that I could stitch it for my boyfriend. Also picked up all the specialty threads because it does take a couple of colors of Cunning and a couple of beads. And I also picked up the called for fabric for it, which is 28 count Haunted by Picture This Plus. And here is my start on it. This was the other project that I did, what I had set my goal to, which was 480 stitches. And this is technically 486 stitches. And as you can see, this is in the horse. So, sorry, completely forgot about that one. I knew there was something I was missing. Never fails. So, yeah, that was the other thing I picked up at Dixie Darling, was the Glendon Place Sleepy Hollow. And all the accompanying accoutrement. So, little extra stuff that I picked up from there. We saw this. Bethlehem Silhouette 2. Thinking it would be cool to do them side by side, like meshed together. Because even on the back it shows them separately, like on top of each other. I think it'd be cool to try to do it as one long piece. That's from Stony Creek. Also picked up a 28 piece of 28 count Crystal Bashful from Pictures Plus, and it's not showing up as dark. It's not showing up as dark as it really is, but it's like it's a baby pink. 28 count Crystal Bashful. I don't know why I had to have that piece of fabric, because you know I'm not usually a pink person, but I also picked up a couple of Mill Hill kits while we were there. Andy helped me pick this one out. They had one that was very similar, already done up on the wall on display, but I think we liked this one better. So I got that one. And then I picked out this one. This one was another one that was on display, so I picked up that one. So yeah, had a great time. My only issue with Dixie Darling was I wasn't entirely impressed with their fabric selection. They would have 6 or 7 or 5, yeah, 5 or 6 different pieces, same exact size pieces of the same fabric, but then they didn't have a huge selection of the hand-dyed fabrics. They had a lot of Ada's. I wasn't thrilled with their fabric selection. Like I feel like the Stitch and Frame has a bigger fabric selection than Dixie Darling. But other than that, it was a great shop to go in, to walk around, look in. Lots to see. It's a huge place. If you're ever in the area, I would definitely go check it out. They have some binders and stuff that have like freebies in them. So definitely go check them out. It was a fun experience. I loved Pigeon Forge. Loved Gatlinburg. In fact, we've been talking about when we can't wait to go back. And how we would kind of wish we could move up there. But yeah, it would never happen. But yeah, that's going to be it for kind of a shorter video today. I'm not going to go into a lot of the other stuff that I was going into. I bought a Amazon Fire Tablet 7 because Amazon had them on sale for $29.99 with offers. Unfortunately, they're not on sale any longer, but if you keep an eye out, they may go back on sale. And the reason I bring that up is because there is a new app that is making all the rounds, that is creating quite the buzz, called Pattern Keeper. It's only available on like the Google Play Store, Android. It's not available on iOS yet, but I'm sure once Asa gets all the bugs worked out with this one, then she might be able to start working on an Apple version, but right now it's only available on Google. It's still kind of in development, so there are updates and there are still glitches that need to be worked out, and there's a Facebook page called Stitching with Pattern Keeper if you want to go and check that out. Lots of help there in the files and through other users. It's very, very it simplifies very greatly. It's, stitching on full coverage pieces like Heaven and Earth Designs. Supposedly, it also works for charting creations and the Long Dog samplers as well, which I don't have the digital copies of any of my Long Dog samplers. I have paper copies. But it works with a multitude of designers and files, just not all of them. I tried to load in my Lost Boys pattern, and it acted like it wanted to be able to accept it and read it, but it just couldn't. So I'm hoping that maybe in a later update, maybe it might be able to work with that. So just give it a chance. If you already have an Android device, a Windows tablet, or a what's that, Galaxy tablet, any Android device, definitely go check it out. It's called Pattern Keeper, and the icon just looks like a big cross-stitch X. I'm going to try that out. I haven't officially gotten a chance to try that out with actual stitching time, but I'm hoping to do that today or sometime before the end of the month, because one of my projects is my Heaven and Earth that I want to get some stitching done on. I have a goal on that one. I wish people would stop trying to call me. I really do. It gets to be annoying. But I was finishing up anyway, so I have been reading a few books, reading/listening. I did actually read a book called Evidence of the Affair, and it's a really good book. It's a kind of a novella, so to speak. It's a short novel. And it basically is told through letters. This woman has found out that her husband has been having an affair, and she's found out from finding letters from the other woman. And so this woman writes a letter to the other woman's husband, and they correspond back and forth about what they're going through, because they don't want to say anything yet. They want to kind of see if this plays out, because it seems like from the letters that that this may play out only up until a certain time frame. So they're just kind of waiting to see what happens, and don't want to try to give too many spoilers, but one of them has a happy ending, and one of them has a different conclusion. Not that it's sad, not that they kills them, or anything like that, but one of them, each spouse, there's a very different outcome, and so it's very interesting. It's an interesting way to write a book through letters, basically telling the story through letters, and telling the story of how these two people get close, finding out how the affair started, and just finding out afterward through their letters what happens afterward. So definitely go check that out. It's called Evidence of the Affair. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and she has a lot of other books. So I downloaded one other one by her so far, but I haven't had a chance to read it. I've barely started, reading through the first Harry Potter book, because I've never read any of the books. Don't get too excited though. I've only made it through up until where they go to the zoo. Is it the zoo? And the snake gets out and kind of scares Dudley a little bit, and then they blame Harry for it. That's all I've gotten through. There's another book that I listened to on Audible. I've only gotten through the first 2 parts of it. I believe there's 3. if not 4. I'm not sure exactly. But it's only maybe about 2 hours and 20 minutes total. And I'm about halfway through. It's called Camilla. Oh, sorry, Carmilla. It's called Carmilla. It's actually a very old book that was written about 26 years before Bram Stoker came out with Dracula. It is a vampire novel of sorts, but it's a different vampire novel. It's very sensual, I guess. The premise behind the book is this girl, Carmilla, and her mother get involved in a carriage accident on the road at night, traveling through one day, and a local man who happens to have a castle nearby, he runs down to check on them, and the daughter is hurt pretty badly, so he offers to take her and let her stay with them until her mother can come back for her in a couple of weeks, or a couple of months, sorry, because the mother has to get on to something that's very important, that is like not life or death, so to speak, but very, very, very important for them. And so they allow the girl to stay with this family, and it's a father and her daughter, and father and his daughter. And she gets very close to the daughter. There are parts in it where it seems like the way she's speaking to the daughter, like they have this very intimate relationship, and it gets a little weird sometimes for me. But the one that I'm listening to is actually a dramatization of the book, which is kind of like listening to a play. It's people acting out what's going on in the book. And I don't know who any of the other actors are, except for David Tennant. David Tennant plays one of the doctors, and the book actually starts out with him kind of introducing and going back and discussing this particular case. Hold on. Sorry. And then he comes back in later on. The doctor is German or Austrian or something like that, so it's kind of weird to hear him with another accent. But like I said, I haven't completely listened to that all the way through. I'm still in the process of listening to that. Another book which I had started listening to, audio version, is called Harley Merlin and the Secret Coven. They market this book as Harry Potter for adults. Now, I don't know about that. There's magic, yes. There are creatures, yes. I equate this to a mixture of Harry Potter and a TV show called Constantine. If you've ever seen this show called Constantine, it's kind of like a mashup between Harry Potter and Constantine. I don't even know how to describe it. I really don't. It's just, I don't know. I mean, if you're a fan of Harry Potter and you want to go check it out, there's a whole series of these books. Have at it. But to me, it was kind of meh. I'm not impressed. So I listen to Audible when I can. I read when I can. Trying to get stitching in. Unfortunately, my stitching time is being cut down these days. This past week or two, because we're in switchover mode at the store, which means shorts are having to get put away, and hoodies and jackets are being brought in. So I'm having to put out a lot of stuff lately, and it's cutting down on my stitching time. So I guess that's it for now, since I've already been interrupted twice already. I will have to mesh these 3 videos together and make something that makes sense. Again, if you want me to show you what I've got so far, with my storage, let me know. It wouldn't be a very long video because there's not much to it right now. Yeah, there's not much to it right now. There's a little cube shelf and a file cabinet. Like I said, maybe soon, once I can get my floss put away in a particular type of storage that I have in mind, I will let everybody know. And I will do a full tour of my storage. But I guess that's going to do it for now. I apologize for it being so long since you guys saw me. I promise I did try to record before. I've tried to record this video twice. But it's very long. My computer is a piece of crap, basically. And it was a fiasco. So, I will definitely be back before the end of the month. I think I can probably come back either if I can't take Wednesday the 31st off, or maybe November 1st I'll get off. One of those days I will definitely come back in a couple of weeks and show you everything else, I guess, which hopefully will include the rest of my acrostic progress. So, until I see you guys again next time, be awesome to yourself and always be awesome to each other.